So I woke up this morning and my friend PM'd me saying, "Hey, Jagex has made a news post about the botting situation. Why don't you take a look at it? Tell me what you think." And I was really interested to go and see what Jagex had to say for themselves, but I can't say I was very pleased when I immediately noticed the Golden Joystick's Last Chance to Vote news post from 4 days ago, which was intentionally left above the post about the bots. It kinda shows Jagex's what Jagex's real priorities are, yeah? So anyway, I went ahead and began to read the article. Now, this video is just me expressing my thoughts and opinions on what Jagex have said. I will also briefly explain my own suggestions for what I feel Jagex could be doing to combat the bots. I feel that this news post contained a lot of words, but very little information. The key pieces of information that were provided seemed irrelevant in the grand scheme of things. I mean, in my opinion, the bots in RuneScape can be placed into one of two categories. The first is the chat spam bots that create accounts and spam advertisement for gold selling websites and stuff like that. We've all seen them in Lombi and at the Grand Exchange. Now, the second would be the resource gathering bots that make it almost impossible to utilize most of RuneScape's best skilling resources. Now, while the chat spam bots are annoying as fuck, I feel that it's the resource gathering bots that are the main issue for most players. Be it slayers unable to finish their Turo task, woodcutters with no trees to cut down, or just hunters with no hunter spots available because every spot has 3 bots. The resource gathering bots are ruining the gameplay and destroying the economy, and they are they're what need fixing most. Now, onto what Jagex actually said. The first and third bullets that Jagex listed only really deal with the chat spam bots. Don't get me wrong, it is fantastic that the chat spam bots will be pretty much gone soon. But there's still an elephant in the room, and it's the resource bots. These are the ones destroying the game, and they're the ones that urgently need dealing with. I will quickly mention the second point that they mentioned, though. It was about taking legal action against bot developers, but that was kinda already known. So I won't really go into that one too much, but I will say that whatever legal action they're taking, it doesn't seem to be doing much good. I don't ever recall hearing about a bot developer getting taken to court or charged with committing a crime, but to be fair, I have seen instances of botting and gold selling websites being taken down, so they must be doing something right. So I've got nothing bad to say about that. It is great that they're taking legal action against some of the developers. Jagex's plea for help from the community was unexpected but admirable. Although there was nothing along the lines of an apology for letting RuneScape get into the state it's in, they did open up and let us know that they are trying, so I do appreciate that. I never thought they would have had the balls to do it, and we should support them for that, because they didn't have to post that news post, and the fact that they did shows that they are trying to help fix RuneScape. Now, onto my suggestions. These are what I would do if I was the CEO of Jagex. Number 1, I would introduce captures. Almost every website with a registration system on the internet has one. Why doesn't RuneScape? I mean, specifically, captures should be introduced into the game itself. Do away with random events, they're far too easy for bots to do. Bring in some captures, the bots will have a really hard time getting past them. But that's sort of negligible. It's not key, and I don't think it's the solution to fixing bots. But moving on to point 2, now this is the big one. I think they need to employ new members of staff to bot bust. These player support staff members would have a special role to get in game and ban bots on site. Bots are incredibly easy to spot, and the easiest way to identify them is to just go in game and have a look around, because you can spot them just by the gear they're wearing, the things that they're doing. And if Jagex just employed 2 or 3 people to form a bot busting team, they could just hop world to world visiting the most commonly botted locations. They could easily ban like 1,000 bots per member of staff per day. Um, Obviously, to follow up on point 2, I, you know, they're not going to pay for themselves, but I think I speak for the vast majority of players when I say that we wouldn't mind paying the bill for these members of staff. Just raise the membership fee by like 1 or 2 cents, and even add an optional, maybe even, add an optional donation system for us to donate to a fund that goes directly toward paying the wages of said new staff members. I think you would be surprised how many players would be willing to help with donations of real money to help remove the bots from the game. And finally, to close, I just think it needs to be easier for us in general to report bots. The fact that you can report a bot at Black Demons and go back a week later to see that the same bot is still there is absolutely pathetic. The report system really needs improving. And that is all I really have to say. I would just like to make it clear that I don't hate Jagex. You might have got that idea from some of my previous videos about bots, but they've provided me with a game that I've enjoyed playing for over 6 years. And sure, I disagree with a lot of things that they've done over those years, and I know I can come across as a bit of an arsehole, but I call things the way I see them, and I am not afraid to speak my mind. You guys should know that by now. So yeah, that's all. If you agree with most of what I've said in this video, it would really help our cause if you could just like the video and maybe show your friends. Hopefully someone from Jagex at least watches this and listens to what I've said and takes note on it. Because I really do feel that point 2 especially is probably the best way to really start tackling the bots. I mean, sure, it's not going to deal with all of them, but I think like 90% of the bots could be dealt with by just having a few members of staff whose job it is to ban the bots. So yeah, thanks for listening, guys. Until next time, take care.